So GROWx is a startup company based in Amsterdam and built in Amsterdam. It was originated after I won the TEDx Ideas Worth Doing award and promised a bunch of people that we would have a vertical farming revolution here. Now, in the forming of GROWx, the premise of the company is that the future is urban. And this generation needs to build fresh food, specifically fresh food infrastructure in and around cities and metropole regions to basically balance out supply and demand. So we have a global system, and since we know everyone's moving into the city, GROWx and our team members believe that we should build that infrastructure near the city to have fresh food year round. What we do at GROWx is we make climates. And those climates produce plants. We grow those plants and we ship them to leading restaurants, leading chefs, to work on the flavor, to work on the seed density, to work on the product. When we nail that product and we have all the pieces in place for it, then we can just repeat it. Because what we do here is we make a climate. And that, when we make those climates, it has to nurture the plant at every stage of its life. Well, vertical farming is basically growing without soil and without sunlight. Now, the key thing to realize is that the LED lights here are the key enabling technology. Under here, the hydroponics and the hydroponics and taking care of plants this way, this is actually pretty well known and well understood. So everybody's really focused on the lights. So while the LED is the key enabling technology, okay? All of these other factors have to be right. The water, the air, the nutrient levels, the amount of light, the absence of light, and the presence of light. So photo periods, they're all going to matter on a per plant basis. So the sort of the job of a vertical farm is to take care of that plant at every single stage of development. And when you do that, you're going to get a really great product that you can reproduce on a consistent basis. So how do you control the climate? And what we do here is we have insulated panels on each side, so heat doesn't come in or heat doesn't come out. So you have a nice insulation space. Over here, up top is our air handling unit. So each one of our R&D cells, we basically have an individual air handling unit. And it comes down, the air will come down this way, and through these pipes, it pushes out through all of these small holes, and is basically collected on this side. So you have to have airflow going around to make a climate. What happens is that the gases will collect around the leaf. So it's like the plant leaves are eating CO2, okay? So you need to have a little bit of air to basically move the gas around so the plant has more plant food to eat. And the way we do that here is we basically gently push it across. And over here, there's a perforated wall which kind of sucks it up. And then it gets sucked up into the air handling unit. And up at the air handling unit, the water, it is dehumidified, the temperature is readjusted, and round we go. That's how we create a stable climate in the air. Okay, with the nutrients in the water, generally speaking, you have to monitor 3 different things with the nutrients in the water. The EC, the pH, and the water temperature. Those are the most core things to keep an eye on. We basically take an A solution, B solution, mix them together. We make all of our chemicals or all of our nutrients here. We do them on site, but you can also just go to a hydroponic site, and that's actually what I did at the beginning with our first prototypes, is I would buy things off of EU hydroponics and just use their nutrients. It will work. When you start putting plants into the system, it's important to look at the grouping of the plants to make sure that they have at least similar nutrient and water temperature requirements and those things. So the way that we control pests here is we clean ourselves a lot. So before anyone goes into the production area, you have to wash your hands pretty thoroughly. We put on hair nets. With guests, we'll often put on coveralls. Everyone in our team has uniforms when they go onto our production line. We have shoes which they change into. And the thing is when you're dealing with vertical farming technology or fully controlled environment agriculture, when you're making a climate like this, you're bringing stuff in off of it as well. You're bringing pests in with you. So the first thing to do is to not bring in the pests with you. Because when plants are growing in this environment, they don't develop the autoimmune defenses that a plant growing in a greenhouse or a plant growing in the open field would in its lifespan. Two creative things that we did inside of our production cell that I will share with you that you can use to further your ideas. Number one, we use no fungicides, no herbicides, no pesticides. This is core to what we're doing. Further down the line, we'll look at bigger scale, we'll look at biocontrols. But these are the two things that we did that are pretty fun. Number one, we put in some bug strips. I know it sounds silly, but the bugs will actually, just like what you'd use in your house if you had some insects in your house. So we put some of those in the corner. And that gets some of the bugs that may be going around. The other thing that we do, and this is kind of funny, at night, the lights go off because the plants need to rest. For a little while, we have a bug zapper that will turn on, and then all the bugs go to the zapper and die. Circularity at GROWx is a huge driving force in our company and in the concepts that we try to build. So the first thing that I want to highlight is that our entire facility is powered by the wind. That means that we have developed a system that goes from seed all the way to chef without the use of oil. So our entire production system and this entire facility is powered by windmills in the north of Holland. Then we harvest our product, we put it in reusable containers, we take it in an electric van to bike distribution. The bike distributors take those containers and bring it to the chefs. The chefs use our product, they love our product, they bring us those containers back, we wash them, and we repeat the cycle. That way, we've been removing, number one, a lot of plastics from the entire production cycle, and number two, we've made production and logistics clean. The other thing that we're doing at GROWx, and one of the things I'm most excited about in vertical farming, is the ability to recycle water. So almost all the water that leaves this facility leaves inside of products that people will eat. We actually don't, about once a month, we drain a little bit of water to basically clean out our system. However, every day we irrigate all the plants in our 250 square meter farm. It is then recollected and then it goes through this sand and gravel filter over here. That sand and gravel filter gets all the big chunks or things out of there. Then the water that's still dirty, it can have bacteria and things like that in it, we have it going through high-powered UV lights. And then that basically sterilizes the whole thing. And by doing this, we're basically constantly recycling our water footprint here, and we don't have any agricultural runoff in the system that we built.
Another sustainable aspect in terms of vertical farming is the CO2 usage. In this system, we reuse all the air, which means we also reuse the CO2. So we only dose CO2 when it's necessary. If it drops below a certain set point, then we'll add more CO2. This way we're not wasting any CO2, which is obviously better for the atmosphere. Another aspect of the vertical farm is that obviously we need to cool, and the cooling takes a lot of energy, but the excess heat energy we can reuse. So everything that we cool here and the heat that it generates, we reuse in the building, basically for the offices and all the other operations.